Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday evening to you. It is Region Weather Meteorologist Matt Wintz. It's good to be back with you guys. Oh, what a rough weekend. It wasn't terrible, but it was pretty rough. A lot of you know that on Sunday night, pretty much leading up to that, I've got three kids, and they all went through the tummy. Ugh, and it's going around. Schools around here, all around the country, are dealing with this right now. So I didn't think we could escape it, and we didn't. And then Mama and I both felt it and kind of got it, not quite as bad. I've still got a kid that's dealing with it. So anyway, it's been interesting to say the least. But anyway, I appreciate the patience. We are going to chat, obviously, here about not just the system coming in tomorrow. I want to go a little bit more long term and look at, do we have any warm days coming the rest of March? Like, what does the rest of March have in store temperature wise? So we'll get into that as we always do. I appreciate you guys joining us here on this Wednesday night. I know it's kind of an odd time, but I thought I'd be as strict to 8 p.m. as we could. So we'll do that. Okay, so we'll jump into that. Let's run our open here, and then we'll get into the maps here and dive into the world of weather here over the region in the month of March for what remains. We'll talk about it next. And welcome in, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful week. It was nice to see some sun yesterday. We've got clouds that we're building in today, but not bad, right? I mean, the weekend was a little bit colder, so this is not bad territory that we're in. Hi, Reedmo, joining us on our YouTube channel. Appreciate you. Ruth's with us tonight. Hi, Carl. Jeff, hello to you. Thank you guys for taking time out of the schedule. I know there's not a pending winter storm, so I'm going to make this as quick as possible. We'll talk about the rain coming in tomorrow. It's going to be pretty decent soaking. We've got a temp drop coming in after that. And then obviously, like I talked about, let's go the rest of March and let you know what we're looking at here. Hi, Rosemary. Hi, Phoebe. Thanks for being with us. Mary, hi. Thanks for joining us as well. All right, so let's dive into it as quick as we can here. First and foremost, want to thank our wonderful sponsors, Discovery Travel. Now is a great time to get out of town. It really is. There's spring break all over the country. There's all sorts of websites that are trying to rip you off and try to get as much money as you can because they know you want to get out of the Midwest. So Discovery Travel is the place to go. It's discoverytrvl.com. They will plan a huge trip for you, or they'll plan just a couple things. It's whatever you want. And they've been wonderful to a lot of our region weather folks. Ewing Mechanical Services, they continue to have 5-star reviews from our region weather followers and regarding HVAC and everything inside your house. Pair them up with Tiger Plumbing, not the same business, but you get your house taken care of, whether it be plumbing or whether it be HVAC or humidifier, whatever it happens to be. It's Ewing, MECH. Online and on Facebook as well. You'll find that Ewing Mechanical Services. TigerPlumbing.net for our plumber around the region. Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we love them out of Valparaiso. And then St. Jude House, we've talked about them over the course of February, now into March. Domestic violence isn't something fun to talk about, but they are really, really addressing a problem that has a bad stigma around the world, but let's focus here on the region. So if you know anyone that needs help or anything that's going on with them, that, maybe they're talking to you at work behind the scenes, whatever it happens to be, reach out to St. Jude House. It's not the St. Jude, the cancer place. It's St. Jude House, a safe house in Northwest Indiana. Totally separate businesses, but they're trying to get word out about their mobile advocacy program where they will meet whoever needs help in a public location. There's a crisis hotline as well. I've got it for you. It's also on their webpage, but it's 1-800-254-1286 is their 24-hour crisis line. So give them a shout out if you can, and just get the word out about them. And finally, our newest sponsor, Public Service Adjusting LLC out of Portage. If you have any storm damage or anything like that, they will come in, they'll take a look, assess it for you. If you feel like you're not getting enough out of an insurance company, they will get more for you. They are wonderful. Any kind of insurance claims, whatever happens to be, it's publicserviceadjusting.com. They're also on Facebook, and they are on Facebook a lot. They are very active on there. I love active folks on Facebook. So we thank you for me being able to talk about them. I know this takes up your valuable time, but they keep this for free. They support anything that I could possibly need in terms of system upgrades, all that stuff. And we just love them. I couldn't do it without them. I really couldn't. So appreciate that. Okay, so weather-wise, we've got a system moving in. That's why we've seen increasing clouds this afternoon. And this evening, they're really going to start to thicken up. This is going to bring a real decent rain to the area starting tonight, but really tomorrow is when this starts to ramp in, where we'll see things kind of pick up from the west. There's not a lot on radar, but we'll likely see radar returns start showing up tonight, but especially tomorrow during the day. And this is how it comes together. Area of low pressure will be off towards the north. There's another one that develops towards the south. We are on the warm side of this, so temps tonight will remain fairly mild. We'll probably fall back into the upper 30s, low 40s, so not bad, right? And then tomorrow, those clouds really thicken up. Here comes the rain. This is midday into early afternoon when we really start to get some of the rain showers in here. Nothing particularly heavy. I think it's going to be light to moderate rain in waves, but it's going to be pretty breezy as well, and just kind of a raw day tomorrow. Temperatures will be nice. We'll be into the 50s. Upper 40s, low 50s. I'm being optimistic. I think we'll take 50 degrees, but it's going to be raining on top of that. So then what happens tomorrow night is this cold front goes by. It'll be after dark, so temperatures will probably hover right around 50 degrees, 8, 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. So there's that. That will be nice. But then tomorrow night on into Friday morning, St. Patrick's Day, we get this cold front in here, and we'll have a sharp drop in temps. We'll probably go from 50 around midnight, 1 a.m. tomorrow night into Friday morning. And then 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, that's when the front will go by. We'll go from 50 probably down to like 35, 36. So waking up Friday morning is going to be notably different than going to bed Thursday evening. We'll lose the rain. I don't see a lot of snow on the backside of this. Most of the moisture is going to be up in Michigan, up towards where that low pressure is, up towards the UP. There'll be a driving wind across the lake, so we'll be cold and blustery on St. Patrick's Day. Temperatures probably won't do a whole lot. We'll likely stay in the 30s. But that being said, the snow, it's not like last weekend where we had kind of this wraparound low pressure that brought the snow in here via lake effect as we got onto the latter half of the storm system. This one's a little different where it kind of heads out, and then we'll watch some of the moisture come in. So I don't see a big snow event with this. I do agree with this model in that we could kick off some snow showers by later in the day, St. Patrick's Day. But at least initially, that rain's not going to change to snow. We're not worried about accumulations. The only time I would watch would be Friday into Saturday, where we'll likely have some snow showers that start to develop as that cold air aloft really comes in. So a little bit different than the last really 2 systems that we've been dealing with. So once we go beyond that, things turn a little snowy, as I mentioned, Friday into Saturday. You can see this low. Everything's kind of wrapped up to the north. This is Saturday now. And watch how it kind of swings south. So again, Saturday, we could still have some snow showers around. Again, I don't think it's going to be anything we have to worry about. You head out towards LaPorte County, South Bend, up into Berrien County, Michigan. We may be dealing with a little bit more in terms of lake effect, maybe a couple inches out there. But I really think that'll struggle to even get into LaPorte County. And then that's out of here. So then what we do is we have cold air this weekend. It's going to be this little speed bump of cold. These speed bumps get a little bit less and less as we go through time, but we're still dealing with cold air this time of year. And once we get beyond that, next week looks pretty darn nice. I was going back in time, and the last time we had a 5-day stretch, all right, we've had some 3 and 4 day stretches, but a 5-day stretch of dry weather without a trace or anything like that goes way back to October last year, right? We haven't had any really long dry spells, and it's been good for the drought. Remember, last fall, we had a pretty decent drought coming out of summer, and we've slowly been chipping away at that. But I think we get a nice 5-day stretch of dry weather as it looks right now. There's a couple systems that are zipping by that could end up changing on the modeling, but here we go. This is where it starts. So, I mean, Saturday looks okay. Maybe some snow flurries around, so I'm not going to count Saturday. Sunday looks good, though. Maybe morning flurry. Monday, we're dry. Tuesday, we're dry. And this is all courtesy of big old high pressure that comes in. Here's the system we have to watch. There's a little something on the Euro there up towards areas in Michigan on Wednesday. But, I mean, we're dry Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe. That would be our 5. The Euro hurries this system in from the west next Thursday with some rain. But I'm going to show you the GFS in a second, which doesn't. It keeps it at bay. So that would be the next system to watch right there. And that looks like primarily a rainmaker if that's it. So there's that. Here's the GFS. Watch how the GFS keeps us dry the whole time. So we're dry, 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 dry. This is Thursday. GFS doesn't have that system yet. Here it comes on Friday. So that being said, next week looks pretty quiet and not bad. So what about temperatures, right? I don't see any snowstorms in the forecast. The GFS has that system go by, and then it brings this in there, whatever that is. I think that's just noise at this point. And then another system with some snow, nothing big. But, there's still some chances for some snow this time of year. We're not quite done. We're about 90% done with our winter snow climatologically. So there's that. Let's talk temperatures, though, because, if it's cold enough to snow, obviously we get a system in here, things go right, and we do get some snow out of it. But if we're not cold enough snow, we don't have to worry about it. So this is kind of the little speed bump that I'm talking about in terms of temperatures. So what you're looking at here, these are the temperatures on the national blend of models. So basically this model right here, we can look at the Euro, we can look at the American model, we can look at the GEM, the Canadian model, we can look at a bunch of short-term models too. This one takes a blend of those models, and it actually blends and heavily distributes on the ones that have been the most accurate over the last, I think it's a couple months, maybe a couple weeks. But it's a pretty good idea of where our numbers are going to go temperature-wise. So these are our highs and lows. So here we go tomorrow. Again, I think we push 50, and then Friday for St. Patrick's Day, it's cooler. Remember, it's going to be windy as well. Look at Saturday. We may not get out of the 20s as that air kind of comes in. That's why I think we'll have some snow showers, especially out towards LaPorte and South Bend, because the air is just cold enough to produce that, especially as you add in Lake Michigan. But then we recover. And here's next week. Remember, next week's going to be dry, and we're talking temps in the 40s and 50s, maybe pushing 60 later next week. That's not a bad week, and this would be out ahead of that system with some rain. But it'll be nice to dry out. There's going to be lots of sunshine in here as well, so not too shabby, right? Can we go out further than that? We can. I never show this, and the reason why is it changes almost every day, but you can kind of grasp patterns with this. And this is my last point that I want to send home. I want to look at the rest of March and say, are we going to have any of these 60 and 70 degree days that we flirted with in February, or are we going to kind of stay on the cooler side? And all indication is, just in a summary, we get this cold spell this weekend, the last 2 days. Okay, not bad. Next week looks mild, not extremely warm, but mild. It won't be bad. And then all indication is sometime in the March 27th through 31st, so the last couple days of March, sometime in there we get another little cold shot. Does it last 3 or 4 days? Does it even arrive? That's the big question. But most of the models are indicating that we do get colder then before we kind of bump out of it. But we've got, a nice set of days out ahead of that, starting on the 18th through, 25th, 26th, whatever that is. So again, next week looks good. So what this is, you can barely see it. This is the United States in here. All right. Just to give you kind of perspective, this is that low off the East Coast. Here is where we are, right here, right where that mouse is. Okay. So do me a favor. I got to scroll this, but I want you to keep an eye on this spot right here. Okay. Right where we are. Here's the cold air that's leaving us right now with that nor'easter. All right. Here's our little warm up over the next 2 days. Here's Canada. I mean, Canada's just full of cold air still. Even for Canadian standards up in northern Canada. So keep an eye. Again, we're right here. Okay, keep your eye right there. We're going to go through the rest of March into April. And again, this model just shows air masses. There's our warm-up. That's Thursday. There's Friday. There's the colder air coming in this weekend. Pretty decent cold shot. We've got some bright pinks, right? That translates to temperatures in the 20s and 30s. So we get this little lobe, okay? Here we are. We're right here. As we go through next week, watch what happens. We start to moderate things. We get a high pressure here, which starts to bring in warmer air, eastern half of the country. There's our warm up into the upper 50s, maybe 60 next weekend. And then where do we go from there? Here's a little tiny cold snap, maybe 40s beyond that, into the following weekend. That'd be the 26th. You get another little warm spell there. And then here's that cold snap that the models are alluding to, which would be pretty similar to what we're going to be dealing this weekend, except this is going to be March 29th, March 30th, March 31st. This is April 1st. Again, the models still keep it on us. And then watch, we kind of moderate after that. Warm, April 3rd. And then nothing really comes at us. We get some nice days there, maybe. Everything kind of holds. Another nice day there. I mean, we're already in the mid-April at this point. I'm just keeping my eye on this air and hoping that doesn't come back. Get a nice little heat wave here in the plains in mid-April, maybe. And then something maybe comes at us after that. This is extreme fantasy land. Again, this will all change tomorrow. but what we look for are trends. Are there multiple signs on multiple runs that we get continuous cold air out of Canada? And I don't see that. I see little bumps in the road, which is how it goes this time of year. But that takes us all the way through April. So again, end of the month looks like we get another little cold spell, could last several days. 30s more than likely, may have some snow with it. Maybe some 20s in it, and then it looks like we kind of moderate from there. And start of April doesn't look too bad at this point. All right, that's all I got for you. That is our weather presentation for tonight, again, this special Wednesday evening. So as always, if you guys have any questions, I would love to open it up for you. Please throw them into the comments section there, whether it be on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook page where we're live on both. That would be great. We'll answer your questions, and then we'll get you on your way here tonight on this wonderful Wednesday evening. Again, I hope your week's going well. Ours has been rough, but it's good to be at work, back kind of in the saddle again. So there's that. Anyone else dealing with this this norovirus, tummy flu things with the kids or with the adults, workplace, whatever it happens to be? I know it's going around, so there's that. All right, let's see. Stephen asks, any snow for Napanee on Saturday? I do think so, Steve. Yeah, I think there'll be some snowflakes in the air as that cold air kind of drops in. So I would plan on it. Is it going to be a big deal? I don't think so. But I think there'll be some snow around for sure. When do you expect, Maxwell asks, when do you expect the last 20s of the season? That's a great call. So Maxwell, I actually did this stat on the TV side of things. All the questions you ask are things that I ask myself as well. And I always do the digging on it. And I like to do that stuff for our viewers in terms of, I'm obsessed with sunset times, sunrise times, but things like that. So the other day I looked up the last upper 20-degree high in a season. And the average for it is actually right around now. Between now and next week is usually our last 20-degree high. And by 20 degree, I mean 28, 29, right? Last high in the 20s. So it is right around now, and we'll start to warm things from here. Again, in terms of the snow on that, we're about 90% through winter in terms of our snowfall. So we really are at the end of this. Every year, I know we go through this because it's like you kind of forget, like, when does the snow stop? Like, should we be warm by now? And we're pretty much on par climate-wise locally with where we should be. February was a little wanky, but it's changed a little bit. Sarah's happy to get rid of the snow, so there you go. Deb, for the parade, I know that's the problem with St. Patrick's Day, is that it's going to be turning colder around here. If only we could have, the parades and all that stuff on Thursday. I know it's going to be rainy tomorrow, but at least it's going to be warm. But you know what? It'll be fun regardless. Just bundle up. St. Patty's Day parades are always great. Ruth, that's a great call. March came in like a lion, hoping it will go out like a lamb. There's certainly some truth to that. We'll see. If we get colder later this month, cold air is more stable, so that means we may go out quietly. But it's just a saying. I know you know that. We've had many marches that have come in like a lion, gone out like a lion. Lamb. It's just up to chance. It really is. Yeah, Amanda. We're getting into White Sox home opener season, April 3rd. I didn't have that written down, but. Boy, it'd be nice to have a warm up. Let's just see what the model's saying April 3rd in terms of temperatures. So this is, again, just fantasy land. So April 3rd, this would probably be around 50 degrees, which is pretty typical. This has a low pressure just to the north so that would probably mean we'd have some rain on the front end. But again, I mean, we're early stages of that. That's far out, but we'll see. We've had some rotten opening days, really have. Let's see. Wendy just joining. Does Monday night look okay in New Buffalo, Michigan? I have to pick up my daughter. Any snow on Monday? Yeah, Monday looks just fine. Monday will be just fine for you up there. Let me just go back and show you the map for that. It's also really nice to be here because we have faster Wi-Fi than my little cave downstairs, which you guys can attest to. Here we go. Let's go to Monday for you, Michigan. Leftover snow for the weekend. Yeah. Oh, completely fine. I don't know why I didn't answer that. High pressures are all across the Great Lakes. And I think we're going to go dry for like 4 or 5 days next week. It's going to be pretty nice. So hopefully that answers your question, Wendy. There's your question for you. So no, you'll be just fine. The snow will be melting. That's on the ground up there too. Oh yeah, Maxwell. I'm glad you're okay on that. Kevin asking about Chicago Bears offseason moves. You're always welcome with that. I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about the Chicago Bears offseason moves so far. I usually try to catch up on that for you, Kevin, right before the season begins. So I am aware of the Cleveland Browns moves because the Cleveland Browns radio announcer he's actually our sports guy here. So he knows everything inside before anyone else does. It's great. But I'll check up on that. I would assume that they're going to position themselves better this year than last year, which is easy to say, right? Jeff says, you're welcome, Jeff. Hoping for a large snowfall next winter. Yeah. Boy, if we get out of this winter without any big snow, what a luxury. It really is. Okay, and Andrew, thank you. I've been waiting for your comment. Draining the gas out of the snowblower on Friday. Okay, so back to you, Jeff. Andrew's going to drain the gas out of the snowblower, meaning that we are still going to have a big snow this winter into the spring. Just keep that in mind. Spring officially starts on Monday, so there's that. Wendy, you're welcome. Yeah, okay. And Debbie says, definitely going around. Yeah, I feel great. I really do. I feel like $1 million. My wife's getting better. My 2-year-old still has it somehow. I think it's turned into something else, so we're going to the doctor tomorrow. But yeah, my 7-year-old and 4-year-old are out of that now. But she's in school. My daughter is, and so it's a giant petri dish. You guys all know that, and so who knows what she's going to bring back tomorrow. So there's that. Yeah, Deb, we absolutely have lucked out with snow. It's just been interesting, and again, it's the have and have-nots. You go up towards Minnesota and northern Wisconsin, and they are way above average. I mean, all these storms just missed us, right? But we were mild. But they may be coming close to setting a all-time record for snowiest winter in Minneapolis. Areas of the Dakota, similar story. Out west, similar story. I mean, what's going on in California and out west. It's unbelievable. So it's not just because we didn't have snow this winter doesn't mean it wasn't a winter, right? The snow just missed us, and we're one of those spots on the map that, it missed us. So that's that. Andrew, you're welcome for sure. That hurts. That first comment hurts. That's okay. Amanda says California snows are amazing. It's unbelievable if you see the pictures out there. California has a great network, kind of like the region does. They have a great network of traffic cameras. So if you guys are ever bored, just search California traffic cameras. You can pull up a map of cameras everywhere on all the interstates, including, down in the valleys and then up and in the mountains as you're going up through the mountain passes. And sometimes this is fun, especially if you're at work and, you're getting paid. Just kidding. To click around on those and to kind of, travel through California and go up to Lake Tahoe even and see all the snow up there. It's kind of cool. So something neat you guys can do while you're at work or not at work. I didn't say that. All right. Well, I think that's it in terms of questions. Appreciate you guys as always. It means so much that you just take time out of your schedule to join me to chat weather. So I hope you got something out of it as always. Again, I hope it helped to look at the rest of March so you're not wondering what's coming next, because we can kind of see what's coming next. So there's that. So in summary, we've got some rain that'll be moving in tomorrow. We've got a temp drop. Tomorrow's mild but breezy. Temp drop occurs tomorrow night while we're all sleeping, going into Friday morning. St. Patrick's Day, it's going to be blustery. Temps in the 30s. May have some snowflakes later in the day. Just kind of raw, but bundle up if you're going to any of the parades. And then for the weekend, I think we'll have some snow showers around, especially out towards LaPorte County. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. And then next week looks quiet, like 4 or 5 days of dry weather. First time since last October that we may get 5 dry days in a row, completely dry days. And it looks like we'll warm up a little bit. So not a bad week. We've got great things out ahead of us. And how about that late sunset? Every night after the time change, it's like, this is great. So there's that. Okay, guys, have a good night. We'll talk to you again soon. We'll keep you updated on the rain tomorrow and throughout the weekend as you come to expect. Okay.